Arias. Our big story tonight, Jodi Arias' prosecutor will soon confront his own accusers. Juan Martinez faces a disciplinary hearing in late August over allegations of sexual misconduct and sexual harassment. Martinez became a national celebrity during the Arias murder trial 4 years ago, and now he's fighting to keep his law license.
And as Team 12's Bram Resnick reports, there's a new twist in the Martinez case. Bram?
Yeah, a woman named Jen Wood helped make Juan Martinez a star when she was blogging in the Jodi Arias trial. Now 12 News has learned Wood is expected to testify against Martinez at a disciplinary hearing in late August. It's a big deal because Wood is at the center of the most serious allegations against the Maricopa County prosecutor.
Why couldn't we be trial divas? We love stilettos. We love, dressing in dresses.
That was blogger Jen Wood during the Jodi Arias trial in 2015. She was one of the so-called trial divas, chronicling every twist in a sensational murder case. Now another twist. 12 News has learned that Wood is expected to testify next month against Juan Martinez, the Jodi Arias star prosecutor fighting to save his career. In a 12-page ethics complaint, the State Bar of Arizona's attorney alleges that Martinez and Wood had a sexual relationship during the Arias trial and for years after that. Martinez wanted so-called Juror 17 off the case. She stood in the way of his getting the death penalty for Arias. According to the complaint, Martinez ignored the judge's orders and revealed Juror 17's identity to Wood. The juror's name was soon posted on social media. She became the target of death threats. Juror 17 spoke to 12 News in 2015 while she was in hiding just days after her holdout saved Jodi Arias' life.
It's scary. There's people that hate me that don't even know me.
The ethics complaint says Martinez told Wood if anyone found out he revealed Juror 17's name, he would lose his law license. Martinez would later deny to State Bar investigators that he had a sexual relationship with Wood or that he gave her Juror 17's name. In both cases, the complaint says, Martinez's testimony was false and he knew it was false. Martinez is also accused of sexually harassing female co-workers in Maricopa County Attorney Bill Montgomery's office. According to the complaint, female employees began hiding in the bathroom or ducking into cubicles to steer clear of Martinez. Martinez's lawyer, Don Wilson Jr., told me the hearing will give Mr. Martinez a fair opportunity to present his side of the case, and we look forward to the opportunity. Martinez is scheduled to go before a disciplinary hearing panel August 27th through the 29th, but a dozen witnesses are expected to testify. If the ethics complaint is upheld, Martinez could face a range of actions, including losing his law license. And let's send it back to you.
Okay, Bram.